Heritage Foundation specializes in terrorism and national security issues. He's joining me on the phone. Robin, good morning. I want to ask you about this idea of targeting a location where we know that there are young people in the crowd, women, teenagers. Could this have played a role in the selection of the target, or was it more that 20,000 people were in one location?
Well, it is extraordinary, isn't it? That has been the target. I mean, I think it's possible that it seems to me that it would be an unlikely coincidence. I think this has been very specifically targeted. The fact that it's an American performer as well probably made some kind of determination in terms of the target, if we presume it was a suicide bomber of Islamist inspiration, which I know hasn't been confirmed yet. But that's what the indications seem to point towards. And it will be, I mean, this is a heinous attack even by the standards of terrorist attacks that Europe has suffered in recent years. And I think the fallout from it will go quite far and wide.
Yeah, indeed. Not the first time we've seen terrorists target a entertainment venue either. What we know so far, at least from officials about this incident, is that it was a single bomber. Police say they're not sure if this person acted alone or not. So where do investigators go from here? It appears as if he used an improvised explosive device.
Well, there's a lot for the authorities to do. I think the first thing you have to say is, okay, so they're going to try and find the identity of the bomber. Then they try and find out, well, is he on our radar? Do we know him? Do we have any intelligence on him already? Who is in his network? Does he have a network of friends that are also on the radar? What kind of electronic footprint has he left? Who has he been emailing? Has he got encrypted messaging apps? Has he been in contact with anyone in Syria or Iraq, for example? And then you try and picture together, has he possibly even traveled to Syria or Iraq? Has he left the country recently? Can they get his passport and then try and put together a picture of his movement over the last few months? But there's so much to do on this, and obviously it's going to be a task for the authorities in the hours and days ahead.
Robin, what's the likelihood of somebody using an improvised explosive device, being a lone wolf, being self-radicalized, and not having any assistance?
I would be dubious. It's not impossible, but using that kind of device, this isn't just like, you know, going to buy a knife or hire a car and carrying out an attack. It requires a level of expertise to successfully put together an IED. And so that suggests that maybe the guy has had training. Of course, we don't know that for sure yet, but putting together an IED like that would push me towards that there was a broader network rather than this being a lone wolf.
Right. And can we talk a little bit about the venue, this large arena? From some of the information that we're getting, the explosion took place in the foyer area. And I know at this point, many of these arenas have security. People are being scanned when they go in. So I don't know if the person involved here couldn't get in, but it appears to me that no matter how large you make a security barrier, you're still going to have a problem with sort of bottlenecks or where people are coming in and out, and there are going to be areas of concern.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I mean, and also there's so many soft targets for terrorists to pick from. If it's not music venues, then it's restaurants. If it's not restaurants, it's sports stadiums. And I think there's a limit that we can really expect the police to be able to, and the organisers of such events to be able to do. I mean, ultimately, this requires intelligence to stop these kind of attacks. And our intelligence agencies, they do a terrific job, but they're not going to be able to get it right every time. This isn't an exact science. It's impossible to get it right every time. So then you're looking at the trying to dismantle the ideologies that would inspire people to carry out these kind of vicious and heinous attacks. And that, unfortunately, I think is a generational fight. So we're going to be seeing more attacks like this, unfortunately, in the years ahead.
Yeah, Robin Simcox from the Heritage Foundation. Thank you so much, Robin.
Thank you.
Well, we are waiting to hear from President Trump. He is currently visiting Israel. He is in Bethlehem, where he has plans to meet with